Good morning. A quick poll before I get started. Raise your hand if you have a degree in marketing. No hands went up. Not a big surprise there. So what I've noticed is, and I don't have a degree in marketing, not many attorneys have a degree in marketing. And that's why this topic is so important, because if you are not trained to do something, it's unlikely you're going to be successful at it. And attorneys may have had perhaps an undergraduate class in marketing. I don't think many law schools offer a marketing course, which is probably why you're all here. But I'd like to set expectations in any presentation I provide. In 10 minutes, I can make you no better than 5%, no more better than 5% better at marketing than you are right now. It's 10 minutes. I can go through a few operational tips, but at the end, I will provide you with a reading list, a list of material that will make you much more than 5% better at marketing. And then one consideration that should be unspoken but needs to be discussed, legal ethics. On any marketing matter that you evaluate, it's important to look into the ethical considerations, because there are companies out there that will offer marketing services to you that seem reputable but are unfortunately entirely unethical. And there is a fairly recent example of this. The website Avvo, which is a legal directory, offered flat rate legal services to consumers, to potential clients. They sought out attorneys to sign up for this service, to offer their legal services through Avvo for a flat rate, and then Avvo kept a percentage and gave the rest to the attorney providing the services. Well, unfortunately, Avvo is not a lawyer referral service through a bar association, so that was an unethical arrangement, and it eventually ended just a short time ago. But the point is, just because it's offered to you, even by a seemingly reputable company, that does not mean that it is ethical. So on to marketing. It's important to be able to articulate your value to potential clients. As attorneys, we know tons of legal language, and we use it all the time with our contemporaries. But when you're promoting yourself to non-attorneys, you can't use the same language. The reason for that is your brain only retains so much information. It prunes what it hears and categorizes things into a necessary compartment and an unnecessary compartment. Even as you're listening to this presentation right now, your mind is deciding what about Elliott's presentation is necessary for me to remember and what is unnecessary. I certainly hope more of it is on this side of the necessary side rather than the unnecessary side. And really the question is then, how as an attorney do you articulate the value? How do you translate things in a way that non-attorneys will understand? And the method that I pull from is the 5 whys technique of problem solving. So the way that works is I think it was developed by someone at Toyota to solve production line issues. And what they would do is they would ask why something happened until they get to the root cause. So if you're late for work one day, you would ask, why was I late for work? Well, I ran into traffic. Well, why did you run into traffic? And so on, until you get to the root cause, the actual source of that problem. Here, we use that method to drill down and define the root value that you provide as an attorney. So using myself as an example, my focus is on estate planning and business law. We'll use estate planning as the example. So why would someone need an estate plan? Well, they would need an estate plan to draft their will or trust. Why would someone need to draft a will or a trust? To decide how assets are distributed after they're gone. Why would someone need to decide how assets are distributed when they're gone? Well, if you don't do that, the assets that you've worked your entire life to earn may be at risk. There could be expenses involved with it that you otherwise would not have if you created an estate plan. So the value that I provide to clients in estate planning is to protect the assets that they've earned throughout their life and to avoid unnecessary risk. So let's say you're at a dinner party and a person asks you, what do you do? And your response is estate planning attorney. Well, they may think, oh, okay, well, estate sounds like something that only extremely wealthy people have, so that's unnecessary information. I don't really need to remember that. Now, play that back again, and instead of saying I'm an estate planning attorney, you say, I help clients protect what they earn and avoid unnecessary risk. Well, that sounds more like something that's necessary, that a person would need to remember and would likely engage with and ask more questions about, how do you do that? Tell me more. So when you're able to articulate your value in such a way that reaches that necessary compartment for potential clients, you've done something much different than just speaking your legalese language. So once you are able to articulate your value, you need people to talk to. One way to do that is to join groups. That could be networking groups, a board, other professional groups. But when you're evaluating whether or not to join a group, it's important to think about whether or not joining that group will have both professional and personal value. So if it is a group that you join purely for professional reasons, that's probably going to be apparent in the way that you carry yourself in that group. People will know if you're just there to fill time to get referrals. So when you're evaluating your groups, you want to do so in such a way where you decide, would I come to this group each and every week or each and every month or quarter, even if I didn't get any professional value out of it? And if the answer is yes, then that's probably a good fit for you. The other consideration is finding centers of influence. So my definition of a center of influence is a person who knows your potential clients. So using a trademark attorney as an example, centers of influence might include a marketing company, graphic designer, or a business attorney who doesn't do intellectual property law. So you can find these centers of influence through your own networking, through these groups that you've joined, and you can develop those and develop strong relationships where there's value on both sides of the relationship. And then when you're able to articulate your value, you can do so in writing. So writing articles that you put online, you distribute newsletters to your centers of influence, to your existing clients, and to the groups that you have joined. The value there being that you're able to articulate your value even when you're not around. When a person's searching online or when a person has time to read information you provided, you've provided your articulation of value to them. So the last consideration, one that's very important for any attorney to have, whether it relates to marketing or anything else in life, it's a growth mindset. Because with marketing, it involves a lot of trial and error. And just because your first attempt didn't work, that doesn't mean there shouldn't be a second or a third or a fourth. And if you go in knowing that, you're going to be much more successful. Because with marketing, what you're going to need to do is build something, measure the progress of what you've built, and learn from your mistakes and your failures with equal weight. So as promised, here is a list of suggested readings. These are all books that I've read and found extremely valuable, and I encourage you to read any or all of these. And then I've listed my email address as well. If you find books that you read that you find particularly valuable, or articles or other things, feel free to share with me, and I'm always happy to do the same. Thank you.